till you find your way back home.
What's up guys, I'm back, and today I'm going to be doing a comparison of the Razer BlackWidow Clicky and the Razer BlackWidow Stealth. Now obviously every other feature of these two keyboards is going to be exactly the same because they're the same keyboard, but if you want to know a little bit more about some of those other features, you can go check out a review I did over this keyboard right here, and I'll leave maybe a card or something in the description, I don't know, depending on whether I can get that to work or not, but I'll leave a link somewhere, so look around for that if you want to find out more information about that. But anyway, I have taken off the number keys here to give you guys a look at the switches. Now the green switches here are the Clicky switches, and this is my baby, my old keyboard, and you can tell because it's got the custom, I guess they're just K70 keys on it.
And that's how Blake got rape charges.
And then this one over here is the Stealth version of this keyboard. Now, Razer just recently released their V2 of the BlackWidow that has yellow switches, and I don't know what the yellow switches are actually supposed to be in comparison to the rest of this. I don't know what they would be relative to as far as cherry switches go, but I do have a full array of cherry switches here in the middle, and we'll use those for a sound test here in a little bit. But first things first, like I said, we're just talking about the switches in comparing these two keyboards because that's the real only difference. But when we're talking about the switches, there's pretty much two main points to point out because they have the same actuation point, because they're both Razer switches. Actually, Razer has employed a few different companies to make their switches, but they should all have the same actuation point. But no, the two things we're going to be talking about are the tactile or feel of the switch and the sound of the switch. So I'm going to pick two keys that are relatively close to the same distance away from my mic, and I'm going to give you guys a sound test real quick. So these are the sneaky keys, and these are the clicky keys. Now these are clearly much louder, but some people do actually like the sound of the keys. I'm one of those people. I actually do prefer the sound of the keys. It does get annoying in videos, but if I do it right, I can actually edit that sound out. But if you were a streamer, you might actually want to go with the sneaky keys, or if you just wanted to be quiet for other reasons. Maybe your dog gets triggered by that noise, I don't know. But then here we have the cherry switches, and I'll go ahead and put, I guess, the keycaps back on real quick. Alright, there we go. So I think they're all on good. Yeah, they're all good. So just to compare, they're not all on the same direction, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'd say the clicky switches are pretty close to the green switches or the blue switches on the cherry line we've got here, and the stealth switches are pretty close or pretty similar to these four linear switches here in the center. So either the white, here I'll lay it down, the white, the red, those sound almost exactly the same. This has a little bit of a higher pitched sound, but white and the red are pretty similar. The black or the brown. I'd say the brown are probably the quietest. The white are pretty quiet too. And honestly, these are a little bit louder because they're on such a small array. If they were on a larger keyboard, you probably wouldn't be able to hear them as much. But that'll just give you a general idea of how the cherry switches compare in sound. And I'll set that aside for a minute while we go back and we talk about the other thing that I said we were going to talk about, and that is the tactile, feel of the switch. And these clicky switches obviously have a much better feel to them than these orange switches. Now if you like linear switches, then you'll probably like the orange switches better, but I like being able to feel that actuation point, and that's what you get with these green switches. You can tell when it's about to actuate, and it will actually actuate slightly before that, but only slightly. So right about where I've got it pressed, and then it goes all the way down and you can hear it. So I really like that about those switches, and you get that with the cherry green switch here and the blue one. And I actually don't think, I'm not sure if they actually call this a green switch. I never saw the cherry green switch here until I got this array. I didn't even know that existed, but it's pretty much the same. I'd say it's pretty similar to the green switch here on the cherries. The blue actually has a slightly better tactile feel than these switches, but they're both pretty similar. And like I said, the orange switches here have kind of a more linear feel to them, kind of like these 4 center ones on the cherry lineup. Actually, the white has that actuation point. You can feel that, but it's still quiet. So this would probably be, the cherry whites are actually a really nice key. If I was getting another keyboard, I'd probably go with that. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. So obviously there's no like clear winner here. It's all down to your preference, but I do prefer the Clicky keys. And Razer just recently released their V2 of the BlackWidow Chroma, and it has yellow switches, and I really don't know much about the yellow switches. I don't know how they're supposed to compare to these cherry switches, but I don't know. I really don't. I don't know if they're supposed to be quiet or clicky or anything about them. But if any of you guys know, go ahead and leave a comment and tell me what's up with those, because I'm interested to know what they supposedly changed with their new switches. But anyways, guys, that is pretty much it. This is triggering the heck out of me, though. I'll have to fix those in a minute. But that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, it comes down to preference, but that's what you're going to be getting. And hopefully that sound test was kind of useful to you guys in being able to tell, you know, which switch you prefer. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I've got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching.